Good evening, everyone. Just wanted to say, first, I want to start off by giving Arizona State, Coach Hurley and his players did an amazing job of coming out and competing from start to finish. Well-deserved win on their part. It was great to get an opportunity to play a game versus a team, a high-level team that have shown that they will compete no matter what, and they look forward to the matchup. You can just tell just the way how the game started. I will say this, I didn't do a really good job of preparing our guys, so I'll take full responsibility for this one. But every game is a teachable moment. When you win, you learn, and as well as when you lose, you learn. So we're going to learn from this, and we're going to grow from this game right here.
All right, questions only for Hunter right now.
Hunter Fawad for Television Sports. First off, you guys have a huge game last night, win by 30. Tonight you lose by 30. Obviously it's a long season in college basketball, but are these type of losses ones that could really change, can really change the momentum of a season?
I don't think so. Like you said, it's a long season, and we're so early on in it that I don't think it'll change the season at all. I think, if anything, it'll change it for the better. Getting beat like that is, pretty embarrassing. And so for us, I think it's definitely you don't want to have that kind of wake-up call, but I know it happened. And so for us, I feel like it'll level us and kind of bring us back down to earth that, obviously, we can't just roll the ball out there and play and, expect to win.
Hunter, they was very physical with you early in the half, and as a big man like to roam in the paint with space. What was the difference in the first half and the second half? Because the second half it seemed like you was able to get some spacing and down low on the blocks.
Yeah, I tried to just be more physical in the second half. I knew that they were going to let us play, and so for me, just trying to stay low and get a wide base and try to use all the things that coaches taught me in the second half.
Hey Hunter, Arizona State shot 60% from the field today. What kind of challenges did their offense pose for you guys today?
They just made a lot of good shots. I think the first thing that we got to point to is contesting. I think they got a lot of open looks that we didn't really have good contests, and so I think that's where it starts is just contesting more shots, and then I think on the defensive end we just were a little lost out there, and we got to take ownership of that.
Hunter, going into halftime, what did you say to your group of guys to rally them? Because it's definitely deflating being down 18 at the half against a team you probably didn't expect being down 18 to. What sense of motivation did you implant into your group of guys to give them a chance to get back into this game?
Just that, it's 2 20-minute halves. There's a lot of basketball left to be played, and so for us, we just tried to take it into little segments at a time. Unfortunately, he got away from us, but just continue to fight, continue to play Michigan basketball until the clock hits 0.
Hunter, can you put your finger on why you guys didn't match their energy, right away?
I know Coach, tried to say that it was his fault, but it's definitely on us. He's not out there giving up 11 threes, playing as bad as I did out there. It's not his fault, it's us. We got to take ownership of that. Coming out strong, they came out and hit. I think they only missed like 1 shot for the first couple minutes, and for us, we got to take ownership of that. We can't give out the excuse of the late tip-off. Can't give out the excuse of playing 2 nights in a row. That's just on us. We got to come out there with more energy, more effort. I think it's just a good lesson that unfortunately, like I said earlier, we have to learn the hard way. But I think this game in essence really doesn't mean much. It's a non-conference game early on in the season. You can't win a championship in November. So for us, it's just a good wake-up call that will help us later in the season.
Hunter, your coach just said when you lose, sometimes everything's a teachable moment. Being the fact that you lost by 30, but you guys still was fighting and kept the momentum up, still playing physical. What does that tell you about you and your teammates?
Yeah, we try not to have, the moral victories, but like you said, just continuing to fight. It could have been worse out there. I'm just proud of my teammates the way we fought. Super proud of the guys that came in at the end of the game. They played till the end, and so for us, that's something that we can build off. When you lose like that, you just try to find any little thing that can give you some type of, I guess, building blocks leading into the next game or the next part of your season. And so for us, just being able to have that, being able to say that we played for 40 minutes out there, it speaks a lot about the guys out there.
All right, this is the last question for Hunter.
What was it like, facing a former teammate in Frankie, and then I don't know if you got to see, Brendan or Zeb at all, off the court or whatever, but yeah, just the experience of seeing some former teammates.
It was good to see the guys. Obviously, when you have to play against them, you got to put all the stuff you got to put all that to a side. And as a competitor, they're your opponent, so you got to try to put everything to the side. And he did a really good job out there facilitating and leading his team. And so, hats off to him and hats off to Arizona State for the way they played. Played hard for 40 minutes, and they just ended up being the better team out there tonight.
Thank you, man.
Thanks, guys. Go Blue.
I asked Hunter about the start of the game. I know you said it was on you. I mean, do you feel, I guess they weren't prepared for things Arizona State did, or it was just one of those nights?
Well, like I said before, you got to give Arizona credit for how they came out. They were prepared. They brought the energy. Yes, Hunter touched on it earlier. They made some shots. Some of the shots were uncontested, which that was disappointing. But there were times when they made shots that were contested because of the fact of the confidence level that they had. And it had to do with the fact that I didn't have them prepared enough to really get into the guys and make them uncomfortable. Our voices wasn't there like it should have been on the defensive end. So, the lack of, not being able to provide the energy like how we provided last night, truly, it just kick-started Arizona and gave them a life that they needed from start. And then they just kept going and going and going from there.
Last night was a really strong shooting performance and obviously not as much success tonight. What would you attribute the Arizona defense to kind of stopping that, and how do you move forward?
Yes, their defense did get into us and it made us uncomfortable. There were times where we got a little sped up and rushing, over dribbling, but that comes from guys that their heart's in the right place. Because of the talent level, the skill level they present. That's what got them here to this point where they've been able to put on that University of Michigan jersey because of the performances they've had in high school. And so, as a competitor, when you feel like a guy now is getting into you defensively, at times you want to will it. It's like that. Take the one-on-one challenge. But when I talked about teachable moment, this moment right there was a teachable moment where we will go back and look at film and see where we just have to be a little bit more patient, trust a little bit better, and run our sets, and then let's see what we can get from there. But keeping it simple sometimes works.
Juwan, by any chance, do you think that fatigue played a factor in this game, being on the second end of a back-to-back? Because obviously down the stretch, they were just running the ball down in transition, getting easy buckets, along with getting three-pointers down in transition. For you, how much do you think fatigue played a factor in this game?
Well, we don't make any excuses. And with that, we didn't do a good job. I didn't do a good job of preparing them. We're going to learn from this moment right here. Both teams, played yesterday. Both teams had an opportunity to win a championship, and hats off to Arizona State. This is a very deserved win for them.
Coach, you guys are shooting so well from 2 in the first 3 games. When you're struggling and their defense is locking down on Hunter like that, does that kind of lead to a snowball effect? So you're struggling from 3 as well, like you did tonight?
Well, it's not only just Hunter. I mean, it's all guys that touched the floor tonight. They had their moments, and some of the shots did not fall, whether it were shots in the paint or whether they were mid-range. And then there were opportunities where we got open looks from three and they didn't fall. But, you're going to have nights like that. But like I said before, it's a teachable moment. With that, we'll get a chance to go back to Ann Arbor, rest up, and our goal is to be ready for Sunday.
Yeah, how do you get your team to bounce back from a loss like this?
It will not be hard, trust me. Those young men in that locker room are competitors, and they have taste, they have a bad taste in their mouth. And I guarantee you, if they had a chance to play tomorrow, they would be ready.
Coach, just to end off, in your professional coaching career, where would you rank this loss among all the games you've been a part of?
I haven't even thought back that far, man. What time is it right now?
You're good.
It's midnight. It's midnight, man. I'm pretty sure that, hopefully with God willing, with good health, I get a chance to do this over again on Sunday, and hopefully I get a chance to wake up and the day after that, and each year that I get a chance to coach, I'm sure there's going to be many more of these games in my career at some point. I'm not planning on coaching for a long time. I'm not retiring tomorrow.
Thanks, Coach.
Yeah.